Hi, my kings and queens. Ere Taronic here, master weaver of mystery suspense thrillers, as well as broadcaster of astrology. First, I'd like to thank you all for being here with me today, lending me your ears, your eyes, and your time. I know it is valuable. Therefore, I will be sharing valuable information with you that will help you to navigate the week's upcoming challenges, okay? Now, this is a weekly update. It ranges from the 23rd through the 30th of this week, okay? It's a collective for all of us. If you'd like more detail as to your sign, you want to check the newsletter. I'll make sure I put that in the comment section, or if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put it in the description box below. Guys, it's so important to know your chart, at least your sun, moon, and rising. I really implore you to, look into that. It will help a lot more. And if you know that you have any placements within 5 degrees of the degrees that I mentioned when I'm speaking about a transit, you know that that transit is going to hit you harder than anyone else, okay? Now, before I get into it, for my literary kings and queens who are privileged enough to be on Clubhouse, please join Diane Rembert and author Bailey West at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today on Clubhouse, where they will be unmasking author Bailey West's literary flair, okay? Let's get into it without any further ado. There's a lot going on this week, guys. Okay, a lot, because there's a stellium in Aquarius, which means it's a bunch of planets packed in there, okay? Now, first of all, we're starting the week with the sun conjunct Saturn and Pluto. Mind you, the sun is at 4 degrees, okay? So most people will be, there will be a lot of people focused on their sensual desires as opposed to what, they should be focused on. So don't let that get you into trouble if you're focusing on something that you're not supposed to be focusing on adultery, things like that, okay? That's a focus, especially today, because that's where the sun is, which degree. Okay, moving along. There will be some restrictions and responsibilities placed in our laps pertaining to this rebirth that we're going through, that we've been talking about. Those that have been following my weekly videos, you already know about this, okay? This rebirth has taken our focus. Now, some challenges will come in that will catch you off guard because people and things will be coming to thwart our advances, okay? Now, most likely from the past, but anyway. Now, Jupiter is there conjunct the sun, so it is shining on those restrictions and responsibilities, trying to help us out. But regardless, things can throw a wrench in there and throw us off kilter. So you have to pass these karmic tests. If you pass these karmic tests, you will receive rewards. But remember, you will be tested in many ways. Now, the sun is in Aquarius, our area of friends and high hopes, as a collective, all of us. If I have enough time at the end, I'll go through and tell everybody what their area of Aquarius is, because that's very important. It means something different for all of us individually. That's why I tell you guys it's so important to know your sun, moon, and rising sign at the very least, okay? Because those are the areas, that will be majorly affected unless you just have Aquarius in different houses. Those areas will be affected as well. For instance, let me use myself for example really quick. I'm a Scorpio sun. So my area of Aquarius is not only friends and high hopes because of the collective, it's also my area of home and family, okay? For my Leo, it's my area of relationships. For my Libra moon, it's my area of romance, creativity, and children. See what I'm saying? Okay? So you want to know your sun, moon, and rising. There's a stellium there. All of those planets are packed in there. The sun, Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn trying to have their way in Aquarius, okay? And the sun and Mars are at their detriment right now. And what I mean by that is they're not operating at their full capacity there. They're not happy there. It's not their comfort zone. Mars is comfortable in Scorpio or Aquarius, Scorpio or Aries, not Aquarius, you see what I'm saying? The sun is happy in Leo. It's not really happy in Aquarius. So they're not operating to their full capacity, okay? That could be a good thing for us as far as Mars is concerned, because Mars is our planet of energy, is the planet of energy and challenges, okay? So the challenges we face might not be that difficult to overcome. These inner battles could be things that we need to come to terms with, okay? This retrograde energy is asking us, are you sure you want to let this go? Are you sure you've learned your lesson? Let's bring this situation back to test the waters to see if they've learned their lesson, okay? Now, Venus is conjunct Pluto, so your rebirth you're working on can be pleasurable, you know? It can grow your finances. But this is not about something falling into your lap. This is something that you've worked for. And with Mars, the planet of energy and challenges, squaring Jupiter, you will have to continue to put in the work. Try not to allow yourself to suffer delusions, though, as it pertains to your career goals that you're trying to accomplish. The sextiles will bring opportunities in romance, chances to line your pockets, as well as chances to indulge your senses, okay? There's also a sextile to Neptune that says there could be some illusions in the mix, though. So sit with your decisions a little and don't allow your judgment to be clouded. We are already in the retrograde energy. So the past is coming back to rear its ugly head. I guarantee it. There's something wonky there in the mix with the semi-squares because of Neptune, the Sun, and Saturn. They're semi-squaring. So don't make any rash moves like up and quitting your job voluntarily. You want to make sure you have all of your ducks in a row, you know, if you're going to do something like that. Now, if the universe takes you out of a job this week or in the coming, you know, weeks, the next couple weeks, because the full moon is this week, you'll have to trust that that was meant, you know, to happen, okay? You want to move on and continue to walk in your purpose. Now, the squaring aspect between the North Node and the Moon and Neptune says there's some confusion that you're feeling about what to do in career. You want to dive into the crystal blue waters and explore right now, but the waters beneath might be turbulent and cold right now. So you want to deal with the facts, not fantasy. Don't just see what you want to see. Look at what's really there, okay? You might be feeling a little over optimism because there's a trine from the moon to Jupiter, okay? So don't let the smooth taste fool you. You want to deal with the facts. You know, my husband laughs at me because I'm always the type of person to list pros and cons. You know, I make lists before I make choices so that I know how I will favor and what's not favorable about it. So I encourage you to do the same before taking action steps. Write you a list of pros and cons, okay? Today, the moon is at 13 degrees Gemini, okay? Stop wasting your time, okay? If you know a relationship and career is not going anywhere, stop bothering with it. If you know it's not going anywhere or it's bad for you, you know, I'll leave that there for you to mull that over. I won't say any more about that. Now, Neptune at 19 degrees is asking us to follow through with what we have going on. Many of us have too many pots on the stove just boiling. We haven't added noodles to some of them. Some of them the water has evaporated out of them. Trim down your focus, okay, to one thing at a time. We talked about this last week, okay? One task at a time, and don't be afraid to ask someone that you trust for advice or to help you, okay, for assistance. Mars, the planet of energy and challenges, is at 8 degrees Taurus. Make sure that you're sharing your love and your gifts with your children. Reach one, teach one, okay? Don't forget to put energy into home, into cultivating the goodness in the relationships within your family, okay? Now, Mercury, the planet of skills and communication, even intellect, is at 23 degrees Aquarius. You might not be feeling up to it today, you know, and that's okay. So work at your own pace, okay? Venus, the planet of pleasure, romance, and finances, is in Capricorn at 19 degrees. Mind your money and try not to overspend. Put some away for a rainy day, okay? Some of you were supposed to go to work today and you didn't show up. If you know you're doing things like that, put some money up, okay? Now, Venus, the planet of pleasure, romance, oh, I just went over that. Okay, let's move along to Tuesday, okay, guys? Now, Tuesday, January the 26th, Neptune is at 19 degrees Pisces. It's square the true node at 19 degrees Gemini. Avoid loud, boisterous opponents. Someone could be slandering your name in order to damage your reputation. And the same thing is going on Wednesday, only it's between two different planets. Anyway, on Tuesday, I want you to be practical and be realistic. Hone your skills in the area in which you intend to cultivate a career. Maintain a clear focus on what you want, okay? Because you can't be letting these people shift your focus to something else and trick you, and then they snatch up what you were going for, okay? Now, the same thing is going to be going on Wednesday, only it's because Pluto, the planet of rebirth, your rebirth, renal and resources at 25 degrees Capricorn. It's by quintile, the true node at 19 degrees Gemini, okay? So that's really, somebody is really slandering your name because they don't want you to have that rebirth to your true node, to your highest aspirations, okay? So if you are, you know, an honest person and you're, you know, proud of what you're going for, don't let that bother you, okay? Don't let those people bother you, whether they're from the past or whether they're current people doing that. Now on Thursday, the 28th, that's the full moon. The full moon is in Leo at 9 degrees. All of my Leos need to be paying attention to this. All of my Scorpios, your Leos in career, you need to be paying attention to this. This is your career sector, okay? Be mindful when traveling, guys, all of us. If people are pushing you too much, let your concerns be known without flipping out, without being short-tempered. I know you can only do so much, okay? Just communicate that in a productive manner, okay? Now, everyone wants to be a focus. You know, with this moon in Leo, everybody's fighting for their spot in the sun, okay? Temperance is called for here. Balance is called for, okay? Try not to get upset with your family and friends, okay? The competitive energy is going to ramp up. It is already ramping up. And through this 2-week moon cycle, even more so. Okay, I want you to be mindful of that. Don't get angry at anybody. Everybody's just trying to live their best life, okay? Now, the Saturday, on the 30th, Mercury goes retrograde at 26 degrees. We're already in the retrograde energies, okay? So people from the past might have already been coming back. This is a time to be sociable and enjoy the company of friends and family, even if it's just on the web. Shocking or surprising communication could come your way from people in your networks or whatever area Aquarius is for you. Old friends and contacts could return, and the past could catch you off guard this transit, okay? With the sun there, it will be a major focus. Let me go through really quick and tell everybody what their area of Aquarius is for you. For Taurus, your area of Aquarius is your career sector, okay? So all of those planets are packed in your career sector. For Gemini, it's your 9th house of education, skills, study, the way you think, the things you say, what you preach. For Cancer, Aquarius is your area of shared finances, endings, and beginnings, okay? For Leo, it's your area of relationships, okay? For Virgo, Aquarius is your sector of work, health, and daily routines, how you are of service to people, to others. Now, Libra, Aquarius is your area of romance, creativity, and children. For Scorpio, that's your area of home and family. And for Sagittarius, Aquarius is your area of communication, your networks of people, siblings, short distance travel. That's your area of Aquarius. So those are the areas being affected by all of those planets. You want to look at the newsletter, guys. Capricorn, Aquarius is your area of personal finances, okay? Money, personal resources, okay? And Aquarius, it's your area of self, your area of self-reflection, first impressions, and things like that. So you're going through big changes on the inside, Aquarius. Now, last but not least, Pisces, it is your area of secrets, sacrifice, solitude, and closure. That's a lot of planets in there for you, for secret, sacrifice, solitude, gossip, and closure, okay? I implore you guys to check out the newsletter so you see how this affects you in great detail. Thank you so much for tuning in for this weekly update. I would say it's short, but it's 15 minutes long. God bless you guys, okay? Abundant blessings to you all. I love you, and I'll see you next week, okay? Bye-bye, guys.